Hi everyone, there's a new The Flash promo trailer.
Let's talk about it.
Yes. This one is way shorter than the first one we saw. It's a promo about 20 seconds. You know, it gives us some new footage, some new insights into what's coming this season.
Starting with a scene where Barry is seemingly with his dad, asking him when he was, not where he was. And that conversation looked a little bit eerie and actually reminded me of the conversations Barry was having in previous season with the Speed Force. So I think that's a conversation with the Speed Force.
That's interesting because at first I thought that might have been like when he's trying to figure out where he is because things are so different. But, you know, because there's no one in a diner, the image looks a little different.
And he would never ask his dad, when are we? Right? He would never ask his dad when. The only person he would ask that is someone who knows about time travel and the Flash and all that stuff. So it has to be a Speed Force or something like that. Which means Barry is gonna potentially encounter the Speed Force, which means Barry's in trouble.
Yeah.
Because he shouldn't have done what he did. Because, no.
Well, and I'm jumping ahead a little further into the trailer, but we also see the Time Wraith.
Yes.
It looks like going after Barry's. And on top of Barry possibly meeting the Speed Force and the Wraith after him, even the promo says, see what happens when time strikes back. Time is not happy, the Wraith are not happy, Speed Force is not happy, it's bad. Barry's in trouble.
But Barry's also trying to clearly get some allies and explain his predicament. You see him in front of the board, as always, explaining what he did. The crimes he committed. And in the background, who do we see?
Wally West.
Wally West.
Whom we know is Kid Flash. So I think one of the reasons, well, there might be more people in there, but I think probably Kid Flash is someone that's very likely to help him since he's another speedster. So yeah, it's interesting that they're teaming up.
Speaking of teaming up, it's also interesting to see now the relationship between Barry and Cisco.
Yes.
Who Cisco, obviously we've seen in previous trailer, is now a richer version of himself.
He's the richest man in the world.
And actually in the trailer he says, so there's a timeline out there when I'm not rich. Alright, that's a glitch in the universe. So yeah, clearly that's gonna be an interesting relationship. But I think Cisco's gonna be Cisco. Rich or not, you know?
There are parts of him that are probably gonna be similar, but it feels like maybe some of the sides of Cisco that we liked might not be exactly the same. Let's talk about the villain. So originally, I thought the masked guy that we had seen in the previous trailer was possibly Dr. Alchemy. But now seeing this trailer and this image of this cult following this guy that looks like the same masked man, I'm guessing that's not right because TV Line actually in one of their articles mentioned that that guy in this promo is actually Savitar, which is another speedster we're gonna meet this season that wants to bring every other speedster down. He does not like them.
It's interesting because it's the first time that I'm seeing the whole speedster with a cult-like religion aspect to this, which is a little bit weird. I don't know, might have some interesting implications there. Basically, the gist of this is that Barry messed up. I'm just saying, he just messed up. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how he messed up, and I cannot wait for more.
And while we're here, I also wanted to bring up a new piece of casting that's also relevant to something we saw in the previous trailer. Todd Lasance, I think that's how you say his name, from Spartacus, has been cast as the recurring character, the Rival, who's sort of another self-made speedster, usually wearing a black suit in the DC comics. And he will appear in the premiere, which now makes me think that's the character that we saw Kid Flash fight in the trailer. So that's possibly who it is.
But that's what we thought of this trailer. We're interested to hear what you thought of this trailer. Comment below and let us know.
If you want more Flash, we have another video coming out very soon about what we know so far about season 3. So keep an eye out.
Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, because we'll have more Flash videos coming up. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
Bye.